You're probably aware of the ongoing ideological battle between hate speech law in Scotland, particularly, and J.K. Rowling's the author of the Harry Potter series. And it's an interesting debate going back and forth. But one of the things that as I was reading through some of the articles that dawned on me is that this is just the West's version of blasphemy laws. Blasphemy laws are defined as irreverence toward something deemed sacred. So, for example, most blasphemy laws are in Muslim countries. If you say something disparagingly about Muhammad or Islam, the Quran, or even draw a picture of Muhammad, you can be imprisoned and even executed for blasphemy laws. And so now in the West, what we have is hate speech laws. Canada, Great Britain, some other countries have these laws, and particularly if you misgender somebody. There's a lot of different directions to go in that discussion. I believe gender dysphoria is very real. Don't believe that somebody can change their biological sex. Those are two issues that I've discussed before, but I'm focused more on what I would consider name calling. So if I see someone who looks, acts, and sounds like a female, and I mistakenly call her she or her, and it turns out to be a man who wants to be a woman, in countries where there's a hate speech law, like Scotland, I can be fined or imprisoned for mistaking them for their biological sex. Now, of course, I grew up in an era, and I know people, oh, baby boomers, here we go. I grew up in an era where, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. We just didn't care about that. I mean, it hurts sometimes. I've been called the most horrific things because of my whiteness, because of my masculinity, because of my Christianity, because of my baldness. I mean, I've been called some pretty nasty things. But I would never turn around and accuse that person of irreverence for something sacred, which is what really hate speech or blasphemy laws are about. Because I know who I am. I'm confident in my identity, and it might hurt, but I don't think someone should go to prison for it. That's really the point of this video is, do we really want to live in a society where somebody mistakenly calls us something, or even purposely calls us something, that they should be fined or imprisoned for it? And this is all based on, the hate speech laws are based largely on the worship of self. And I've talked about that ad nauseum. In the West, God was dispatched a long time ago. Now self is God. And so the religion that we worship is self. And if we are irreverent towards somebody's identity of self, we have blasphemed them. In other words, we've blasphemed God in a very ideological, theological way, and therefore are worthy of punishment. That's a ridiculous world to live in. And again, this is not being hateful toward people. I don't believe people should make fun of or disparage those who have gender dysphoria. That's terrible. I don't think people should call other people names. But when someone calls me something nasty, I don't like it. It might hurt, but I don't want them to go to jail. It's just part of being a human being. Anyway, something to think about. Welcome your comments. Have a good day.